Because this motor has been taken apart once, the timing has to be set on it. The timing is set by rotating the actual magnets inside the motor relative to the armature or the brush plate that's inside on this back. So these two bolts have been loosened up. I've got 2 to 3 degrees of rotation on here. With an amp meter in series with the motor to a battery, I'm going to just give it some power. And I set it to the lowest current rating, which in this case was 2.55 amps being drawn by the motor, and that's its optimal timing, so I'll just tighten up these bolts and that's done. This switch is made in-house. It's largely made of nylon and heavy copper bars. It should be able to handle well in excess of a couple of hundred amps. I'll only be using up to 75 amps on it. It'll mount on the inside of the gas tank with the slider sticking out to engage the power. Bike's been out for a few test runs and ran into problems with the controller. It turns out there's a value on a part on the schematic that I have wrong that has to be upgraded. If you're following along or actually building this controller, C9 is marked as 10 microfarads. It's got to be a minimum of 200 microfarads or greater. So all the firmware has been stripped down for diagnostics to the point that there's no current limiting whatsoever. So if I lock up the rear wheel and give it some juice, peaking out well over 100 amps current draw. And the controller stopped locking up. I'm hoping that's going to be the end of it. So after 3 runs, it turns out that the Pickox controller is having trouble. As soon as it starts getting up above 100 amps peak, there are problems with it. It seems to be blowing out the programming in the microcontroller. It certainly can be reprogrammed. There's no physical damage to the unit, but it just isn't reliable enough, and I really want to keep moving forward with this. I've added a YK42-4, supposedly 100 amp controller. This has been tested rock solid in the electric tractor, so it's been moved into this temporarily.